The only way to destroy this woke ideology of critical race theory is to fight fire with fire. Guys, we cannot back down. We cannot mix words. We have to call it what it is. Critical race theory is a racist ideology that gives virtue to black and brown people while at the same time discriminating against white people. Long story short, if you're white, you're the problem. If you're black and brown, you're oppressed. This black mother right here is a living example of how we should attack critical race theory in the school systems. And we just have to do it without apologizing, without worrying if people feel uncomfortable about their intersectionality or whatever the heck they want to talk about. No, we don't want your political propaganda in our schools. Leave our kids out of it. You guys could go fight about that in the higher levels of academia, but K through 12 cannot be an indoctrination camp. And this mother right here shows us how to fight.
In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now I have a dream that we will implement love, not hate, or supporting another Jim Crow's agenda. CRT is not an honest dialogue. It is a tactic that was used by Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan on slavery very many years ago to dumb down my ancestors so we could not think for ourselves. CRT is racist. It is abusive. It discriminates against one's color. Let me educate you. An honest dialogue does not oppress. An honest dialogue does not implement hatred or injustice. It's to communicate without deceiving people. Today, we don't need your agreement. We want action and a backbone for what we asked for today, to ban CRT. We don't want your political advertisement to divide our children or belittle them. Think twice before you indoctrinate such racist theories. You cannot tell me what is or is not racist. Look at me. I had to come down here today to tell you to your face that we are coming together and we are strong. This will not be the last. Greet and meet respectfully.
Gosh, and it's just so fitting that this video is up next. Jen Psaki, one of the ones who's pushing this racist ideology. But guys, that is how you stand up. Don't mix words. Call it what it is. Critical race theory is a racist teaching. And I want to share with you guys briefly on just how big of an assumption critical race theory asserts into its logic. All right, so this book right here is called Critical Race Theory: An Introduction by Richard Delgado and Gene Stefancic. And I read this book when I was first trying to get a hold on what the heck is critical race theory. All right. And at the end of the day, one of the main things that you need to understand is what is the basic tenets of critical race theory? What do critical race theorists believe? Now, remember, this is coming from their own curriculum, their own literature. Probably not every writer would subscribe to every tenet set out in this book, but many would agree on the following propositions. First, racism is ordinary. It's not aberrational. Normal science, the usual way society does business, the common everyday experience of most people of color in this country. So the first thing that critical race theory wants to push is that racism is normal. It needs to get rooted out because it's normal. It's normal, and it's the experience of all or most people of color. Second, most would agree that our systems of white over color ascendancy serves important purposes, both psychic and material, for the dominant group. All right, so now what we see is this whole idea of whiteness. When somebody talks about whiteness, this is what they're talking about, that society has this white over color attitude. So white, good, black and brown, not as desirable. All right. And that these systems are benefiting white people both materially, money, and psychic. All right. Because at the end of the day, if you believe you're superior than somebody, that might give you more confidence. And that is what this racist critical race theory ideology is trying to push. The first feature, ordinariness, means that racism is difficult to address or cure because it is not acknowledged. All right. So you have to acknowledge your racism or we can't fix it. Color blindness doesn't work. Colorblind or formal conceptions of equality expressed in rules that insist only on treatment that is the same across the board can thus remedy only the most blatant forms of discrimination, such as mortgage redlining, an immigration dragnet in food processing plant that targets Latino workers, or the refusal to hire a Black PhD rather than a white college dropout. So, guys, this whole ideology is crooked, and I encourage you to read this book for yourself because at the end of the day, critical race theory is a self-defeating ideology. It is self-defeating because it talks about rooting out racism and making things more equitable. But at the same time, what it does is it labels all white people as racist. Think about what it said. Racism is normal. Okay, if racism is normal, then who are the people who are pushing this racism? According to critical race theorists, the white people. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to tell the white people to repent of their sins of complicity in racism so that we can move forward. At the end of the day, guys, the woman who set a blowtorch to critical race theory entering into the schools, she has given us the blueprint to call it what it is. Critical race theory is a racist ideology that is going to trick young white kids K through 12 to believe that they're inherently racist because of the color of their skin. And I reject that. And I call you guys to reject that too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I make a video. I will see you good people on the next one. Peace.